Hello, everyone. Man, I feel like I say this every time. It's been a minute since I've been on. I think it's actually been like 6 months. And I'll have to catch you guys up on that sometime. Just new job and all that stuff. But y'all are in for a treat today. I'm actually really, really excited for this one. My friend Jenna is on the other line. We grew up together. She's an athletic trainer. And this episode, I think you guys are really going to get into. And it's going to be real honest about some things. Those of you who are strong, independent women out there, trust me, we know how you feel, and we're going to be talking through that. But more or less, again, if you're not following, liked, rate, all that stuff, make sure you do so, and check out my Instagram. You guys will be linked down below. I'll give Jenna's as well if you want to see any of the stuff that we have. But we're just going to jump right into it. So hi, Jenna. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. I feel like this is so surreal because I've been wanting to do a podcast forever.
Yeah.
And we were, just talking the other day, and I was like, Emma, let's do it. We just got to do it. So,
well, why haven't we done it sooner?
I don't know. But, I am Jenna Doggett. I am an athletic trainer at Rowlett High School. So I'm at a 6A high school. And I've been there for about 4 years. Before that, I was at a college, University of Central Oklahoma. Shout out to my Edmond folks. And before that, I graduated from Midwestern State in Wichita Falls, Texas, where I got my degree in athletic training. I also have my master's in exercise science from UCO.
Yeah, she does.
I do. Roll Tros, baby. So shout out. And then before that, my undergrad, I was at Midwestern State. That's where I met my husband. We'll be talking about him later.
We'll be talking about husbands a lot. It's okay.
Yes, all the husbands. Just one.
just one.
Just one. And then I was kind of weird because I was shipped off to boarding school for high school. Don't worry, it was not against my will. And you know a lot about prep, but I went to prep. It's a Christian boarding school up in Wisconsin. And really that's the gist of Jenna in a nutshell. I love sports. I love watching sports. I love competing in sports. I love anything to do about sports. So whenever I was looking at my career, I was like, okay, I wanted to do something medical.
Mm-hmm.
I love sports. I put them together and out popped athletic training. I didn't even know what an athletic trainer was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
We just were told, if you're hurt, go see Noah. Okay.
Well, especially at prep too. It's not like you have a class for athletic training.
No. And the athletic training room was so small, and I got my ankle taped a few times, and it wasn't until I was looking for colleges and just putting in exercise or sports medicine, and out popped athletic training, and I visited Midwestern, and that's when I was like, oh, athletic training, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of went from there. But yeah,
so the other thing too, and then I'm going to get into a question for Jenna, is, so you guys might be wondering, how did we meet? So,
oh yeah,
as you see, Jenna is athletic. She's competitive. You'll even see when she talks about her husband that she met a man who is also very competitive. That is the Herring family, extremely competitive. So her brother is now actually a pastor, and as you guys know, my dad's a pastor, and we went to the same camps together.
And dad's a pastor.
Yeah, and her dad's a pastor. Okay. Jenna, okay. I love you dearly, but I do have to preface, when we were younger, I did not like Jenna, and this is why. Jenna's a couple years older than me, but we would have our athletic camps. Our school would play her school, and little pat on my back. I thought I was a good athlete, but it wasn't until I met Jenna that I'm like, oh, we're competing today. We would play soccer, we would play basketball, and again, soccer Jenna's competitive. Oh my gosh, soccer fun day, you would beat everyone else, but the moment I'd have a matchup with Jenna, I'm like, oh Lord.
Okay, I had one of those too, who from Abiding Word down in Houston.
Abiding Word, man. Yes, I even know who that is.
Alyssa Johnson. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Alyssa, but we would go at it. Oh my goodness. And then
Oh,
Brittany Patton. Oh
oh my
man.
gosh. Guys, I mean,
Uh,
I haven't talked to them in a while, but some people are like, yeah, private school, man, you're just playing sports. No, no, no. I want to remind you that some of the top private schools or some of the top basketball teams in Texas or even the United
mhm.
States, no, we would go at it. So this whole time
Yeah.
growing up, I'm like, "Ugh, Jenna's pretty cool, but I do not like her. Like,
I
um,
feel that.
but then going to college, I think I actually was closer to you when I went to college at UNT, correct?
Yeah.
Because you're like up
Yeah.
in Dallas area, or
Yep.
was. So then started talking to Jen. I'm like, wait, we're actually kind of the same person. We just like to
Yes.
compete.
Yes.
um,
Yeah. Because you were hanging out. That's whenever you and Lauren got close because you started going to church
yeah,
with them.
yeah,
And then just, beat bopping around. And then Christ alone, shout out.
right. I
Um,
know, man, Pastor Sager.
yes. We had the same pre-marriage counseling. So the
Yeah, see,
counselor.
that just shows how similar we are, and another
Yes.
reason why we're doing this episode. Now, Jenna,
Yeah.
this is the time for you to brag. I want you to brag a
Okay.
little bit about your athletic past.
Okay. Oof. Let's see. Well, back when I was 4 years old, uh, I I will play anything and everything. So one, I'm a competitor. I have three older siblings, two older brothers, an older sister. I'm the baby. Yes, I milk that being the baby, but
Can't
I got
relate.
roped. Yeah, I am the baby. So I got roped in, and I wanted to always be playing up. Like I was playing with the bigger kids. I was playing with my brothers. I was playing with my sister. She's 4 years older than me. So there's even a time where one time we played softball together
Mm.
on one game. But anyway, so I started off with soccer. Just, my best friend Haley, she was getting her soccer cleats one day, and I was like, oh, that seems cool. I want to do that too. And so played soccer, grew into basketball, grew into softball, grew into, I played volleyball, I played hockey. So there was a roller rink. It's actually still there. So I drive by it every once in a while, but I played rollerblade hockey, like
Oh, I didn't
full
know
suit up.
that.
Yeah, I played hockey with the boys.
But I see
So
it.
it
I
was,
see it though.
yes, and it was so much fun. Like that was a lot of fun. You were in full pads, full skates. It was very smooth cement. So, it was like ice, but it's Texas. Like we're not going to get ice.
No. Except for
So
maybe right
no,
now.
yeah, yeah, right now for sure. uh, and then in high school, oh, I played AAU basketball. Um, After rec, like usually ends around fourth or fifth grade, and so then I played AAU. We had school, like basically, whenever we had it that weekend when all of our schools played each other. But other than that,
Hmm.
we didn't have like a school team. So I would play rec, but played AAU basketball. And then I kind of had a little seventh grade. I was doing a lot, and in
Mm.
seventh grade, I started having like anxiety episodes in the mornings. Like I
Mm.
couldn't go to school, and I would feel like sick to my stomach, and so I had to quit AAU basketball because it was too much. I was playing
Yeah.
softball, I was playing two basketball teams, I was playing hockey, I was doing all these things, and it was like, oh, I need to stop.
Mm.
Well, and I asked my parents to stop, and it was hard because I mean, your AAU team becomes your family
Yeah.
because you're with them all the time. So, uh, and then even there was a time where I quit softball in third grade to eighth grade because the coaches I had actually in third grade made me hate the game. And I was
Yikes.
also like, which is crazy because I played in college. I played
Yeah.
softball in college, but there was a time where I hated softball. So in third grade, my coaches had just come finished coaching their daughters all through high school, and they were going off to college, and then they would kind of like started over,
Mm.
but they treated us like high schoolers in third grade, and we were having like 4 hour practices on a Sunday afternoon, and I was
Four
like,
hours?
like 3 to 4 hour practices, and then I would go to hockey practice after that. I I did a lot.
I mean, I
um,
knew you did, but I have to admit, I did not know it was that much.
it was a lot. I mean, it was once a it wasn't, maybe it was twice. It wasn't, like every day. But on a
Hmm.
Sunday afternoon, I was like, I don't want to do this, and I'm hating this, and it wasn't enjoyable. I wasn't
Yeah.
having fun, and so luckily my parents let me be like, no, I don't want to do this. But I was doing all these other things. On top of sports, I also play quite a few instruments. But like I was also picking up I play trumpet, and I had
Mm.
private lessons, and music. Like there was a lot of stuff going on. And so I was thankful that my parents were like, no, you're good.
Yeah.
Um, so that was like third grade. Eighth grade, I in eighth grade, we started playing slow pitch softball for like recess.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fun. So I'm like, I'm really good at this. Like, I'm really good at hitting the ball. And then I asked my parents, hey, can I play softball again? Because like I'm having fun. I got that itch.
Yeah.
And so my other best friend Tess, she I was like, Tess.
Yeah, it's like Tess
Uh,
Gibbs, it used to
oh
be,
yeah, Tess
correct?
Gibbs. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yep. So Tess was playing on a team, and I was like, "Hey, can I play?" And also, it was kind of weird with my age. I'm old. I'm the oldest of my friend group,
Hmm.
so whenever if I would play with them, sometimes I would have to wait to play with them because I was older. But
Yeah.
luckily, it lined up, and I was able to play with Tess, and it was so much fun.
Mm.
And so then it reinvigorated my joy of
Yeah.
softball. And then I went to prep, and shout out Coach Kobleski. Uh, so he came up whenever I went up to prep. I'd only played like a year, in that eighth grade year, and my sister had just graduated, and she was like star on the softball team,
Hmm.
and uh, so when she graduated, um, she left. So it's like, okay, I got this shoe to fill. And I remember Coach Kobleski came up to me sometime in the fall. He said, if you play half as good as your sister did, you'll be on varsity all 4 years. I was like,
Dang.
okay, like I can
Yeah.
do this. Now, no shade to any of my Wisconsin softball players, but Texas softball and Wisconsin softball is not the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously good players,
Yeah.
and I'm probably going to get some heat for that, but uh, it was a lot of fun, but frustrating because I love softball and I was good at it, and
Yeah.
this was my sport that I was like, we can do so much, but it was always like me and another girl who kind of had to carry the team,
I feel you,
and
but
I'm
in different sport, I feel
right,
you.
right, and I mean that in the most respectful way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, but that was a frustration. Um,
Mm.
but my time at prep, I was a 4 year letterman for softball. I played volleyball. Yeah, thanks. I made, actually, I think you can see right here I have a shadow box. So
Yeah,
this
for those
is
of you who are
these,
listening, yeah, she has some
yes,
stuff on her wall.
I do. Oh, is that, is that an issue for you?
Oh no, because you could post it on Instagram and we're promoting ourselves.
Oh, yes,
So
I
yeah,
do.
she has a lot of stuff on her wall, y'all. That is just
Yes.
showing how athletic she is.
Yes. So those all, like when you get an L, you made varsity. Now I got two because one for band, one for
Mm-hmm.
athletics. All these little carrots, those are for the years you've been on
Yep.
varsity. Um, and then these little medals here, those are my all conference
Mm.
softball medals. And yeah, there's all those stuff.
I do
So
think it's
I,
interesting that it's an L. Like they give you an L
yeah,
for being on varsity, but that's like not
right.
what
But
people
it's
associate with an L with.
right. Again, right. Right.
Sorry.
Well, it was for Luther Prep, and
Ah, okay, okay.
yes, sorry, Luther Prep. So instead of getting like it's what you get on your chest for
Yeah,
your
okay,
Letterman.
yeah.
In Texas, it's popular, to get your Letterman.
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin, no. Or at least at prep, no. You're not you're not doing it for whatever reason. So I made mine into a shadow box.
Mm.
Um, and then also behind me is the Mary Quam Award for Female Athlete of the Year. So
Wow.
I got that my senior year, and
Okay.
it's the top male and female athlete of the senior class for all 4 years. So they make a cumulative. It's a cumulative award. It's not a like an
Mm.
award that gets based off of popularity,
Yeah.
or it's strictly off of what you accomplish like in the conference through all sports.
I like
So
that.
yeah.
It's
So
promoting
I
more like consistency and doing stuff rather than just, oh, you had a really
mhm.
good 1 year.
Right. So I was shocked when I won. So at
Really?
the end,
Jenna, really?
okay, because there are some athletes in my like I'm my class athletes like and also comparative to today like I don't know 10 because I just had my 10-year reunion so 11
Okay.
years ago because I graduated in 2015.
Yeah.
I just think it's different that how and we can go into this
Yeah.
sometime but it's the different style of play in that there's not that many well-rounded just general athletes.
Oh, yep. Okay. Yep. That's already going to be another episode right there
I
because I
know that's
could step
another
on that soapbox. I could.
yes. Okay, so like in general, everybody, even if you didn't play like, all this sport your entire life, I had multiple friends who could play any sport,
Yep.
you know? Um, so going back to it's kind of describing the award and just like
Yeah.
those are my accolades for high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I played volleyball first 2 years. I actually had an athletic injury also, which also made me want to be an athletic trainer. But
Mm-hmm.
first 2 years, freshman, sophomore year, I played volleyball. Junior year, I tried out in the fall. Knew I wasn't going to make it. Like,
Yeah.
because again, athletes in my
Yeah.
class.
Were you playing like
And
a DS? Or
yeah.
were you hitting? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was DS, but also like I knew my athletic ability was at its ceiling in volleyball and where skill had to take over. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew that, but
Yeah.
I wanted
You're
a
like, my
good
time's up.
workout.
My time's up.
It was because also respect to shout out coach instructor Notling at prep. They actually prep just was runner up volleyball program in the state of Wisconsin. Uh,
Wow.
so
Again,
if you
see,
didn't know
guys,
this,
private schools are up there, man.
yeah, but also in Wisconsin they don't separate. We have UIL and TAPS.
Yeah.
So in Wisconsin they don't separate. So I was a private school playing public schools.
Yeah.
So I wasn't just, it was the whole state.
Yeah.
But
Again, impressive.
shout out to Prep because they just were runner ups at the volleyball state championship. So like they got second in the state, which is crazy.
Yeah.
What's even crazier is it was shout out to the Wells. It was an all Wells championship game because Manitowoc Lutheran won.
Wow.
Yes.
In the
Yes.
whole state.
The whole state. And of course that class, we
Yeah.
have 6A, or up to 6A in Texas.
Yeah.
They have 3 or 4 divisions. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But yeah. So shout out to Prep. Again, so going back to my junior year, I knew I wasn't going to make it, but I wanted a good workout going into,
Yeah.
we had fall camp, a whole week of tryouts, brutal, 2-a-days, like everybody's sore.
Yep.
But that camaraderie, like, of course, support your friends. You're in the grind with them, but I knew I wasn't going to make it. But also respect to Coach Notling that she cut. She didn't just have people on the bench to have people on the bench.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lost art also because of inclusion, because of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree. I was like, I think, again, another tangent, but I think teaching kids it is okay to be good at something, but it's just not your skill. And teaching them how to mourn a loss and quote unquote get over it or learn how to process it and go do maybe what you're meant to do.
Right. And totally okay.
Yeah,
Totally
it's
okay.
fine. Like it doesn't mean you
Yeah.
suck necessarily. It just means,
Right.
oh, this is not your thing. We're gonna put you
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny because so currently we'll do at school we'll have like a staff versus senior volleyball game, whatever.
We're about to have that
And
too.
yeah, so I've played libero or setter the last 2 years, and they're like, "Wow, you're so good, Jenna." They call me Coach Doggett. So either they're like, "Wow, Coach Doggett, you're so good," and I'm like, "You should see my high school teammates," because they're like, "Oh, you played high school?" I'm like, "Yeah, only for 2 years," because like we actually cut people, and that's what I tell them. Like anyway,
Yeah.
so when I did not make the team,
Mm,
I was like, all right, let me get in shape for basketball season and do cross country my junior year.
mm. Again, I'm gonna
Hated
stop
it.
you for a second. I do
Yes.
also think that that's another lost art of, hey, we need to do other sports to keep us in shape and
Yes.
not staying with the same sport all year, because then you're working the same
Yes.
muscles. And I mean,
Uh,
as an athletic trainer, you could probably
uh,
say promoting other sports to do, and I know you probably hated it. Sometimes I hated
yeah.
track too, but like doing other sports with your main one, I think is important. But I digress.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother podcast that we could have.
Yeah,
But I think it's harder in the state of Texas to do that because of how they schedule the seasons
it's
and
ridiculous.
schedule. Yes, and then it's in the school day. So like for me, I knew when school was over, then I went to practice. It
Hmm.
also was like, okay, I can't go anywhere. I lived on campus. Like, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, right.
Um, so, and how in Texas it's in your school day and it's a class, and then you got to share, and because softball in Wisconsin doesn't start till March because the ground's frozen.
Yeah,
Now, softball's already up and running here. If it wasn't for the ice storm, they'd be having a scrimmage today.
yeah.
So but then basketball's still going, and then even basketball and volleyball they overlap. So
Hmm. They
so
don't make it easy.
no, and that is a frustrating. I would say that's frustrating for me to see because I was a three sport athlete.
Hmm.
If it
Me
wasn't
too.
for yeah, like in what class? How big was your high school?
Whew, a little below 4,000, but I graduated with
Okay,
960
so
kids.
you were a 6A.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but
Yeah,
you were able to
huge.
do it.
Yeah, I mean, I did basketball, I did track, and I did theater. So a little
Okay,
bit, little Troy Bolton action right there. But
yep.
even,
Hey, I was a musical too, so.
yeah. But even my teachers were like, yeah, like, you don't need to come to practice. Usually I would, but they're like, we're playing a really easy team. You already know the plays, go to your show. And then I would be at school all day. And it's funny
Yeah,
because I didn't necessarily hate it. I didn't mind being at school because I'm a very social person. I'm like, you know
yeah,
what? I'm going to stay here till 9 p.m. doing theater and then just come back in the morning for practice. That was like a normal thing. But again, I was very blessed at Cedar Ridge that they promoted doing more stuff.
yeah,
Not just, oh, we're going to keep you in basketball year round. Like I
yeah.
did AAU, all those stuff, but it was still, I could do other stuff.
Hmm. I do think that it really depends on the school or the district and how they support that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another topic for another day.
Well, we got so many. I'm already writing some of this stuff down
I
too.
know. Like write it down, write it down.
Yeah. The
So
so I'm gonna pick at something real
yeah,
quick.
yeah,
So again, as you guys see, athlete. Jenna is an athlete, but she touched on earlier two things, and the two things I want to ask is one, Jenna, you talked about at one point you were doing so much you had a little bit of anxiety.
yes.
Now, the first question I'm going to ask is, have you seen Inside Out 2?
You yes.
The
I
one
can't
with the
remember.
little orange figure with
I
anxiety?
haven't I have not seen it enough, but yes, but I think
Okay.
whenever I was seeing it, it was movie time during school, and so I was like half paying attention.
Okay. No, that's a-okay. I was talking to Lauren about this too, but
Hmm.
how did you handle having that anxiety as a young kid, and did it transfer with you as you got older, or how
Hmm.
did that work?
So I definitely still have it. Um,
Me too.
but
We're
I
about being
know,
vulnerable here on all
yeah,
you, so I
yeah,
feel you.
yep. So still have it. I'm not gonna say like I've been clinically diagnosed with anxiety. We all have
Mhm.
anxiety.
Yeah.
Um, I'm on medication for it. I think I've been on medication for it since seventh grade.
Mm.
But I don't use it as a crutch. I don't
Mm-hmm.
use it as uh, it's not anything that I'm gonna say, oh, I have anxiety, therefore I can't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not that's not me.
That's just not
There's
your
way
mindset.
no, yeah. So whenever I was little, I didn't understand. I mean, I'm in seventh grade. I don't understand. Um, Kind of runs in the family a little bit, and so well, I feel like it's a little genetic, little just life. So it definitely was hard because I felt like what we'll get into of like I felt invincible or like
Yep. That's gonna be my other
have
question in a second.
yeah like having your mindset or your mind be weak is frustrating.
Yep.
uh I will even more like getting into we're both women and we both have our periods and like
Oh
those
yeah.
hormones they make me mad.
It's terrible. I hate
I
it.
feel so weak whenever
Yes.
all of a sudden I start crying over something and I'm like ah,
Girl. We
yeah.
literally were talking about this in my class, my health and fitness class, and right now I have all girls. So
Hmm.
one of the sections that we have to learn is about hormones. And
Yep.
I very blessed that it was all girls. We got to have this
Yeah.
conversation. It was great. And I'm like,
Hmm.
one, we're talking about working out, and I'm like, how many people have told you to work out the day of your period? And they're like, no one. And I'm like, go do it. It will
Yeah.
help your hormones. It will help you if you're
Yeah.
emotional. It will help you if you're
Yes.
mad. Go do
Yes.
it.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, it was whenever I started having these anxiety episodes, it was right around the swine flu when that was a thing.
Mm,
So I was going to the doctor. Oh, is it the swine flu? Is it this or that? And it was my pediatrician who was
yeah.
like, she has anxiety. Give her this medication and she'll be able to go to school. And I was like, it's that simple?
They didn't even talk about like,
Okay.
oh, let's get to the root of what's causing it. It was just, hey, let me hand you a
No.
pill. Ah,
So I have been on medication since then. Now I don't like those that thought process has been coming in recently because when I was in high school, when I was in college, when I was like it honestly just became part of my norm, but I never felt different if that makes sense.
yeah.
Like
No, I feel you. Yeah.
the medication I was on was also for migraines, so anytime I go to my follow-up, they're like, "How are your migraines?" I'm like, "I don't have migraines. I'm taking this for anxiety." Like, "Oh, yep, it's
Mm,
still work. All right, cool. Yep." So,
jeez.
so it's kind of, you know, it makes me think like, oh, okay, let's get to the root cause of it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? I should probably be reading my Bible. Like, whenever I get into the,
Yeah.
oh, I'm anxious, oh, I'm this, I'm like, let me get grounded. Let me be in God's word.
Girl, preach.
Like,
Like
yes,
you were I was going to
yes.
ask if being a Christian, do you think it's better than it could have been because I
Mm,
had athletes at a public school who are not Christian and
yep.
then I have some that are, and I have to
Mm-hmm.
admit, I mean, I'm the same way as you, Jen, and I'll ask this question in a second, but when you especially being like a pastor's kid, having
Mm-hmm.
a lot of pressure to do stuff, and again, I'm very blessed. I didn't really necessarily feel pressure from my parents. It was other
Mm-hmm.
people that
Mm-hmm.
I would get anxious about things, and I still do to this day.
Yeah.
And when I get anxious about those things, it just, I'm like, how could someone not do this if they weren't a Christian? Because I'll go to
Mm-hmm.
my Bible and my journal and I'll lament. I'm like, God, what is going on? Like, why am I feeling this? And I had to have a conversation with my junior high basketball girls, I think is important to talk about. Because I'd be curious what you witnessed with, as an athletic trainer,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the pressures
Mm-hmm.
of sometimes I don't think as Christian women we're told that anxious feeling is something that's okay, but it's
Mm-hmm.
when we start questioning God and not relying on him and when it's wrong. Because I do think
Mm-hmm.
Peter in the Bible was very anxious, but he went to God
Mm-hmm.
for it, and it's not sinful to be anxious. It's
Mm-hmm.
just where are we putting our identity in? And
Mm-hmm.
I had to tell some athletes that, so hopefully someone's listening. Being anxious is not a sin. Just you need to rely
Yes.
on the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
not yourself, because we're people. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, totally agree with that.
the other
Mm-hmm.
thing I had too is, and again, I'm curious because we're both PKs. Those of you who don't know, that's pastors' kids.
Yes.
With your anxiety, do you think anxiety and pride go hand in hand? because I
Mm.
mean, her maiden name was the Herrings. Everyone knew the
Yes.
Herrings. My maiden name
Yeah.
was the White. Everyone knew the Whites.
Yep.
Um, and Herrings are athletes. You could go look at
Hmm.
all of them. I think isn't like your cousin like a triathlon sort of.
Yes,
Okay.
Jackie. Shout out Jackie.
Yes. Okay. There's that.
Uh-huh.
Her sister-in-law Lauren that I work with
Yep.
went for softball. We've talked about
Yep.
anxiety there, but I think there are
Same
sometimes
with
that.
my other sister-in-law, Amanda. She was the star shortstop at MLC. Shout out.
Yep. And I mean, your brothers too, your husband,
Yep.
which we'll talk about, strong man
Yep.
over here. But again, with that anxiety, do you think pride kind of plays into that? Because I know you touched on it earlier.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a weakness even now. But as a kid, it was frustrating not knowing,
Mm-hmm.
and the pride of you're being seen as weak. I remember growing up and being proud, like it kind of synonymous here. I remember growing up and being excited that I was 100 pounds because that meant that I was strong. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, let's go. Like
Yes.
I felt strong. And not in like it wasn't I wasn't counting macros. I wasn't like and
Oh yeah.
I hit puberty first in my grade. So I was taller than everybody. I kind of had
Mm.
this like bravado of
Yeah.
like I'm I'm growing up faster than everyone else. Ha
Mm.
ha. And then it's like crippling anxiety and you're like, "Wait, what? Jenna's supposed to be the one Jenna's the one who you go to at the basketball tournament and you're afraid to play her."
Yeah.
Like that's because I wanted to have this presence
You wanted to be
of
intimidating.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
But in a way, not like I'm trying to beat up everybody. And I did have, full transparency. I was a bully sometimes. So I'm not going to be like,
Well, Jenna, you were
I was
probably
this.
bullied by your three siblings.
Right. And
So,
even that, because I translated it as love. Oh, I'm caring about this person.
yeah.
Obviously not healthy.
Yeah.
But in a way, like with your siblings, it's okay. But with your schoolmates, it's not.
Yeah. And
So,
I just, even reflecting on that too, because I feel like the people listening and relating to us, again, we like to be strong, we like to be
mm-hmm,
independent,
mm-hmm,
where on the opposite end of the spectrum, people who don't necessarily want to be strong and are dependent, we feel the same things. Whether
mm-hmm.
you like to be 100 pounds or you want to be less than that, like we feel the same things. And something funny, Jenna, that I think you would think this is funny too. I would take so much pride because I played soccer for 15 years. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
big legs, that's where your muscles are.
Yep,
I
yep,
would go to the carnival and it's like, I bet I can guess your weight. And if I can't guess your weight, then you get a bigigger prize. And I
yeah,
remember I would like step on that scale and they'd be like, you look like you're 110. And I'd be like,
yeah.
135, baby. Hand me that big
Yeah,
prize. They're
yes.
like, oh,
That
soccer player?
muscle.
Yeah, and it's,
Yep.
again, that's the pride would kick in for me. It wasn't like, oh, she's overweight. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, you play a sport. And you're like,
Yes.
sure do.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
And I can beat up the boys if I need to.
oh,
Like
yeah.
I can play with the boys. I can play with a big thing in my family. Of course, it's a pretty popular saying, but it was if you can't play with the big dogs, stay on the porch. So
Yeah.
when I was growing up, if I started crying or if I started whimpering or woe is me, whenever I would be playing with the older siblings, and
Mm.
they said, if you can't play with the big dogs, stay on the porch. And I want to be a big dog.
Which is funny because your last name's Doggett.
Yes, yeah, it's perfect.
And
So,
honestly, I saw this shameless plug for you, but is your like
uh-huh.
code for all your stuff the doghouse?
It's it's cute, you know.
No, I like it. That's what I'm
So
saying. It's easy to remember. Anyway, I
yes,
thought
the
that was so
doghouse,
cute.
two G's, you know.
Uh,
So
no, I love that. The thing that I wanted to start moving into as well is so independence, pride, all these different things, but we're both married.
hmm
And I would say that not just physically strong, but I feel like we are married to mentally strong men.
hmm
Both Christian men. I know DJ served in the church. He probably still
hmm
does.
hmm
Casey serves in the church now. At least for me, when I first got married, it was I got it. I like to do it. Like,
Mhm.
my brain is
Mhm.
the math brain. Let me do the finances. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go to the gym what I want to do. Let me do this. It was very much started playing into my marriage at a point. And I know this is a little vulnerable, so share what you want to share. But when you
Mhm.
got married or even when dating, did you feel like your independence of I'm a strong woman, I could do it? Was that difficult for you to do when you got married to DJ?
Short answer, yes. Long answer, I was thinking about this one in that growing up, so there's that gap between my sister and I. And so for 4 years, when she was at prep and all my siblings were out of the house, I was the only one there. So yes, I was doing a lot of stuff, but also I became like my dad's bonus son. So
Mm,
I was
mm-hmm.
the one that he's like, "Hey, the boat needs fixing. Come on. Hey, we gotta change the tires. Come on.
Hey, I did
Hey,
that as an older sibling too.
right, yeah." And like, okay, there's a lot. Hey, mow the lawn. Hey, dude, like, which I love mowing the lawn. That's free
Oh, girl,
therapy.
same.
Free therapy.
That's
um,
what I look forward to when we get a house, is
yes,
mowing the lawn.
yes, yeah.
The lawn that we
Um,
barely have in Texas.
yes, yeah. We barely have a lawn, which is fine now because of how busy we are. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Um, so yeah, having that, uh, hey, come on, let's do it. And now I know how to do things. And also, you talked about the herring name. There's
Mm-hmm.
also a funny kind of joke in the whole family of like the herring way to do things.
Nope, I've heard about
And
this through Lauren.
yes, yes. Okay. So, and it's gotten us herrings in trouble a little bit
Mm,
because, and I love my dad, I love my parents. And it's funny because usually their arguments, they're not even arguments, they're little like discussions are how to do things. And if it's like the right or wrong way, there's like,
mm,
and even like there's a system.
yeah.
There's always a system, there's a procedure. And it's like, this is the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to even how like my grandparents were. And,
Wow.
um, and just, it's very like systematic.
Mm-hmm.
Not I mean, not too extreme, but just okay. My best friend Haley, she would say anytime we'd go out on the boat, like, because my parents have a boat, so when we would go out on the boat, she's like, I don't even ask anymore to help because I just know, like, there's a system.
Yeah.
It's the herring way. Okay,
Yeah.
so having those systems in my head, getting married, and having an expectation that this is the way that it's supposed to be and the
Mm,
way it's supposed to go made my brain like short circuit and freak out
mm,
because I'm not in control
yeah.
and this is not the way that I think it needs to be done. Whereas he's like, I'm just trying to get it done. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
but did you think about this, that, and the other? And there's a lot we can get into with that. But
Also, quick question, just so
yeah,
everyone listening knows, because they know Casey and I are very different. I had both
yes.
parents growing up, and Casey lived in a single parent household with all women. So just so
Mm-hmm.
the listeners know, did DJ have both parents or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So he has an older sister, a younger sister. He's the middle between two girls.
Okay, so he
And
had
then
girls like Casey. Okay,
yes, and mom and dad in the house. So,
cool. Okay.
um, but yeah, the two he knows how to treat women, which is
Mm.
great.
Yep.
So,
Shout out to our
yes,
men.
yes, yes, for sure.
Um,
So,
okay. And with the whole marriage thing, okay,
hmm
so we both know that this is gonna bother some people. We both know that God calls our husbands to lead us. And that doesn't
hmm
mean that we're like, oh my gosh, you do whatever you want, baby. I'm just gonna do whatever you want. Like it God calls
yep,
us to support them, to still have a conversation with them.
hmm
But overall, more or less, we trust them to lead us, which is actually good for us because then that's
hmm
not so much pressure.
hmm
How long did it take you and your mindset to be like, okay, like DJ's leading our family and I need him,
hmm
I need to give him some control up? Because I know that was very difficult for me.
Yeah, honestly, I probably a year and a half ago after we got into our house. But we had a lot of, I mean, like, and it still happens. I mean, we're human and I still get in the way of that. But that first year of marriage was really hard for me.
Mhm.
It was obvious, it was so much fun. Like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
in the sense of my pride was the biggest factor in
Hmm.
getting in the way of him leading us. And I was thinking about this earlier today, and I wanted to share it of what I was gonna, the worst marriage advice we got. So,
Okay.
everyone, when you're getting married,
Yep.
everyone says, like, when you're getting marriage advice, everyone's like, okay, whatever. And the guy always says, what does the guy always say?
Is it happy wife, happy life?
Yes. Or just say yes, dear.
That's, oh my gosh. That's like, okay, continue and then I'll
We
comment.
would come home, or like, I mean, like, we would come, like, after the shower, or this, that, and the other, and like debrief. And we both were like, that's terrible advice.
Yeah. Well, especially if you know your wife before she met you was strong and independent and you just, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, girl it. No, it's
Yeah.
not going to go well for you.
One, it puts y'all, one is leading the other.
Yep.
It is not equal. It is not equal at all. And we are created to have equal roles, but different roles, but
Hmm.
equal.
Equal
And that's,
value.
yes. And that's where the scary S word comes in of submit. So scary.
Everyone has a
Okay?
wrong meaning of it
Yes.
nowadays.
Yes. So we decided that when we would get that advice, we said we don't want to be that couple. Now, no disrespect to anybody. Of course, it's funny, it's
Yeah.
joking, everyone chuckles at it, ha ha, funny. But when you go to the root of it, and you're like, that's terrible advice.
Yeah.
That's terrible advice to say to the man. You're submitting now to the woman,
Hmm.
whereas the system is the woman submits to him, and he submits to Christ
Hmm.
and his ways, which is servant leader, which is I'm going to consider what your thoughts and everything is in your heart because that's what God does for us. That's what Jesus does with
Hmm.
us. And so it messes up the system
Yeah.
if if we're the head of the house. Now, oh my goodness, they're the head of the house. That means they're in first. No,
No.
my head and my arms and my legs, when I move, it all moves together and they
Hmm.
all go to the same place. One's not going, you know,
Yeah.
to the other. Uh, One of the illustrations that my dad uses is in his pre-marriage classes is like he'll draw a train on the tracks and they
Yep.
have the caboose on both ends and the wheels and then he's
Hmm.
like who's the head, which way is it going, you can't tell.
Hmm.
But so would you agree or disagree that that's the worst marriage advice?
No, I would absolutely agree. One, because sometimes that it closes the conversation real quick of, yes, dear. There's no
Mhm.
open conversation, which is what
Mhm.
you have to have in a marriage.
Mhm.
Second, coming from a person who, yes, I like to be independent still, and I'm very thankful that Casey still lets me be my independent self. I can go to
Mhm.
the gym when I want. He's doing his
Yeah.
games. We're doing this or whatever. But I need to be bucked. Like I can't just be,
Mm.
"Oh yeah, that's fine, Emma. Do whatever you want."
Yes.
That's not helping me grow as a person. And I
Mhm.
remember we had like our first business date or whatever. We have ones like every week after church. Actually, your brother talked about it in church and was like, "Hey,
Mhm.
if you're not having these conversations, they need to happen." And
Mhm.
it's drastically changed our marriage. But there was one time I'm like, "Casey, I'm like, I need to be told when I'm wrong because this is not
Mm.
I'm not saying that this is good, but I will push until someone pushes back. I'm like, oh, if you give me an inch, I'm gonna go a yard.
Yeah.
And that was in the first year of marriage of again, not good. Those listening, do not do that. But there was one time, I don't know exactly what it was, but he bucked me and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I went, "Oh, okay, now I've pushed the buttons." And for me, that's what
Yes.
I needed to be like, he cares about what I'm doing. It was that breaking point that we needed. And so now when we have our meetings, it's like, okay, what could I have done better?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I really liked how you did this, but the way you worded it to me, I would prefer you do this. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. And the same thing with the pride as well, as I had to learn that there are multiple ways to do things. And that's ironic because I say that in math class
Mm.
all the time. I don't care how you get
Yeah.
there as long as you're doing the work. And so
Right? Isn't
I
that
learned,
eating your own?
I know. I was talking to a friend the other day about how like we incorporate our relationships into math. It's weird,
Yeah.
but that was one of the examples. And at the same time, when we talked about the whole pride thing, it brought up my past of I was a pretty prideful person growing up. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing as you. Like 8th grade, Emma White, she was the athletic one. With Blake
Yep.
Patterson, those were the two
Yep.
that were athletic. High school, okay, you did not want to guard Emma on basketball because she's fast.
Yep.
That was just
Yep.
my prideful thing and being strong.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've learned to transition my brain of you can still be physically strong, but mentally strong is learning
Mm-hmm.
to give stuff up. And I still struggle with it. We need a
Mm-hmm.
new car right now, and I'm learning to just be like, Casey, I'm giving that to you. And it's
Mm.
very hard for me, but I'm learning. And that's when, like, the whole devotions thing, I have this, like,
Yeah.
book that I really love. It's like a woman of God, and it has
Mm-hmm.
questions of, like, what are you doing that is not great for a relationship? And here's what we
Mm-hmm.
should be doing. And it's really called me out many times. I've just had to learn to refocus my pride in Christ and Casey and I as a unit and not just myself.
Right. I think there's also a part of whenever we get to that point of letting go of our pride, there also needs to be, and DJ has done this for me, of, okay, I'm doing this, like, help me.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, I need you to do this for me so that I can, like, these are the things
Yes.
I need from you. For an example, and this is differences of your spouse. So I am a think or a talk to thinker. I am
Mm-hmm.
thinking out loud. I'm talking out loud. That doesn't mean I have made a decision yet.
Yep.
When DJ talks, he's a think to talker. When he says something, he's already made the decision. This is what it is. Like, this is the decision.
That's good. I need to do
And
that next
so
time.
so but then I am also, or when he would say, "All right, we're gonna have, like, hey, what do you want for dinner?" "I want chicken wings." And then I'm like, "Oh, did he think about all these other options? Like, did he think
Mm-hmm.
about going to the store, or who's gonna go to the store to go get the chicken wings? Did he think about da 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 da?" And he's like, "Oh, well, like, we're just gonna do chicken wings, like, whatever." So what I then was like, okay. But in my mind, I'm like, did he think about this? Did he think about this? Did he think about this? Like, did he think of all these other options?
Yeah.
And so then it helped us because going from point A to point B, he got to point B. And then I found out that I need to ask him, hey, can you let me know the steps that you got from point A to point B? It may be 6 steps, but I need to
Mm-hmm.
know the steps for
Yeah.
my brain to let it go
Yeah.
because that's comfort. That's comforting to me. That's
Mm-hmm.
something I need. I'm an information. I like information. I like to process it. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
impulse, but
Yep.
in general, when we're making a decision, and if when he makes the decision, I'm like, oh, how did you get there? So
Yeah.
something for us that's helped because I want to know the full picture. He's very high
Mm-hmm.
processing. His brain is very quick. And
Yeah.
so, and I'm like, I'm still processing step 1 and 2, and you're already on 6. Hey, can you back it up, please?
Yeah, I'm a little bit like that too. I have to like talk things out, especially like when the
Mm-hmm.
anxiety thing comes in. I'm like, I'm just talking what I'm feeling. I don't necessarily need a
Yep.
response.
Yep.
And we haven't done it in a while, but we have like a book that's like, sometimes you don't want to. I'm either embarrassed to say it, I feel weak when I say it, so I'll write it down in a book and I'll
Mm,
lay it on a table. And I'm like, well, can't take it back now. Casey's going to read it. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't need a response from you. I'm just letting you know what I'm feeling. And then
Yeah.
we've learned to do that, to not let things fester for over 48 hours, because then it goes south from there. And then it's just not
Yeah.
good. And
Mhm.
again, anxiety kicks in and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask too, and this is for, because I actually have a decent amount of people who are dating and
Mhm.
or seriously in a relationship that listen. Like a lot of my friends are in that stage
Mhm.
too. What do you think would be some good advice for someone going into a relationship? Let's say they've been dating for a while and
Mhm.
they're similar to us, independent,
Mhm.
stuff like that. What do you think are some good steps in a relationship to take to see if it works is not the right idea? To see if you're handling a situation well.
Mhm.
Sorry to
Um,
not prep you for that question at all.
no, you're good. You're good. So I'll kind of take it back on just any advice for somebody who's dating. One, to make sure it's like the right person. And whenever DJ and I first started dating, we didn't like argue at first or have disagreements. And I was like, I need us to argue. Like, I wanted to see how we argued.
Yes, I agree.
Um,
We didn't have that either. I'm
yeah,
like, is this just going too well or am I missing
right,
something?
right. We were also long distance basically the whole time. The most amount of
Huh.
time we spent together in succession of like seeing each other, the most amount of time was 8 days, and that was the week that we got engaged.
Wow.
Yep.